So in this video, I wanted to do a quick comparison between a couple popular refills. Basically, this will be the EasyFlow versus QuinkFlow Shootout. This isn't exactly an apples to apples comparison, which the EasyFlow is a hybrid cartridge, where the QuinkFlow is a ballpoint, but their names sound similar. So here we are. The QuinkFlow, as you can see here, is the typical refill you would find in a Parker Jotter. It's a ballpoint refill, and it is a true ballpoint, so it means it's ink, oil-based, kind of slow and heavy feeling, but it'll write on almost anything. It'll come on this Jotter XL, this Anniversary Edition Jotter, whatever this is called. It's sold in the Parker G2 style refill. Comes in a few different sizes, most typically found in this 1.0 millimeter, which is a medium. And a 1.0 millimeter, as we'll see shortly, writes basically like a 0.7 millimeter hybrid. Again, it's a standard thing you would find in a Jotter, and it's great for everyday use. It's very versatile, even if it is kind of when you're writing with it, it kind of feels like kind of slow and heavy. Still sold in the Jotter XL. That hasn't moved, even though it's a new pen for 2018. It hasn't moved to some sort of fancy ink. Then we have the EasyFlow 9000. It's by a company called Schmidt. It's made in Germany. It also ships in this Parker style G2 size, and this is a really great hybrid ink. Most popularly found in a medium. Also sold in a bold, so it is the EasyFlow 9000B. I think they technically call it the broad, not the bold, but you get the point. I have it here in some sort of Pelican, not Pelican, whatever this is called. I have it here in a Kaweco. It's a good fit. And just for reference, I wanted to cover this before I went too far along. Parker does sell a gel cartridge. It is called the Quink Gel. The QuinkFlow and the Quink Gel are not the same. One is a gel, one is a ballpoint. The names, again, it's not the QuinkFlow Gel, it's the Quink Gel. I really wanted to focus on the EasyFlow versus the QuinkFlow here, but I will throw the gel in just to keep this as comprehensive as possible. I did a quick writing sample, and here everything is. You could pause that or zoom in or do whatever you want. But basically we have, well, it should be self-explanatory at this point, but EasyFlow 9000, broad. It's a nice broad hybrid, writes like a gel. Then we have the EasyFlow 9000M. This is not as smooth writing. The lines aren't as bold as the B. Now we move over to the QuinkFlow. Again, this is the ballpoint. You can see less color saturation, and even at a 1.0 millimeter, you don't have the sort of width of the strokes or lines or whatever as this broad here. Lastly, we have the Quink Gel, a little bit thicker line, or maybe at least the same as a 1.0 millimeter. So keep that in mind. Definitely very good saturation, and like this ballpoint is sort of like very limited saturation relative to this gel. This gel is a much more vibrant blue. So it's typical of a gel versus a ballpoint, but worth keeping in mind. And then just for reference, this is on the Nemosine paper. So it's a kind of like a smoother paper. It definitely has some ink resistance, so it's going to make those colors pop. As for writing, you get a lot of feedback from the EasyFlow. It isn't there so much in the broad. The broad is just really smooth. But when you go down to the medium, there's a sort of, I don't want to say a scratchiness, but there's definitely a feedback you get. And it's less pronounced on a smooth paper like this, but you can tell something interesting is happening when you're writing with it. And I think aside from just general ink quality, it's one of the things people like about it. It's definitely, you could feel it more in the EasyFlow medium. And try to listen as I'm writing. Maybe it'll pick up some of the that sound quality you get. There's just a little bit of, I don't even want to call it a scratchiness, but it's definitely a feedback that I think once you go with the EasyFlow, it's hard to move away from. And then obviously we have this QuinkFlow, and this is just a very solid, very predictable, but not extraordinary ballpoint. And the nice thing about this is it'll write on all sorts of surfaces. You probably hear that scratchiness is gone. Even as I'm writing quickly, it's not there anymore. So that is just the difference in the inks. Obviously the two look the same in the pen. There's no real difference there. And again, the ballpoint will write on all sorts of different surfaces where a gel just won't penetrate. So between the two, if you're generally looking for an everyday carry, like you need your pen to write on all sorts of stuff, and sometimes you have to write on masking tape or something that is like has a high level of ink resistance and some texture on it, then you need the ballpoint. So QuinkFlow is a nice option for that. I tend to prefer the Parker, not the Parker. I tend to prefer the Fisher, which is pressurized, and there's also the power tank refills that I know a lot of people like. But for writing on paper, I tend to go with these EasyFlows, and I know a lot of people out there really like them. I like the broad. I don't think it's ideal for day-to-day use. It's more like when you have a nice notebook and you have some space. There's some smearing, but it's not terrible. And yeah, I think it's really nice writing with, especially if you're looking for more of a fountain pen type experience. You can see a little bit of smearing, but really not much, and pretty much no pickup on my finger there. That's going to vary a lot based on the paper. Anyway, that is a quick comparison of the QuinkFlow versus the EasyFlow. Thanks for watching.